Hoi An gets talked about like a dream. Lanterns glowing at night, ancient streets, romance around every corner. But here's the real question. Is Hoi An actually worth the hype, or is it just a tourist trap wrapped in pretty lights? A lot of travelers leave with mixed feelings. They say it's beautiful, but crowded, charming, but exhausting. And some quietly wonder if they did it wrong. That's exactly why this video exists. Because not everything in Hoi An deserves your time or your money, and a few things are seriously overrated. In this countdown, we'll break down what's truly worth it, what's been overhyped, and what most visitors completely miss. If you only have 1 or 2 days in Hoi An, this guide could save your trip from a big mistake. Let's start with the place almost everyone visits first. Number 15, Hoi An Ancient Town. Worth it, but everyone tells you the same thing. You have to visit Hoi An Ancient Town. But here's what they don't tell you. When you go matters more than going. There's no denying the magic. The architecture is stunning. Yellow-walled houses, wooden balconies, and centuries-old temples make it feel like you've stepped into a living postcard. Walk slowly, look up, and you'll feel the history in every corner. But then comes the other side of the story. By late morning, the crowds roll in. Tour groups, cameras everywhere, photo queues blocking the streets. Add entrance tickets and constant foot traffic, and that peaceful charm can turn into quiet frustration fast. So is Ancient Town worth it? Yes, but only if you time it right. Go early in the morning, when shopkeepers are opening and the streets are calm. Or visit late at night, after the crowds thin out and the lanterns finally feel magical again. But here's the thing. Old Town is just the starting point. Hoi An has more to offer beyond these streets. Number 14, Japanese Covered Bridge. Overrated for time, worth it for photo. This is the most famous landmark in Hoi An. You've seen it in photos, postcards, and probably every travel guide. But here's the honest truth. It takes about 3 minutes to see. The Japanese Covered Bridge is important. It's centuries old and represents the cultural mix that shaped Hoi An, blending Japanese, Chinese, and Vietnamese influences into one small structure. Historically, it matters. Symbolically, it matters. But the experience itself? Very quick. Most of the time, the bridge is packed. People stop suddenly. Phones go up. Everyone wants the same photo from the same angle. If you don't know the story behind it, it can feel like just another crowded checkpoint. So what's the verdict? Absolutely worth a quick stop, especially for photos and context. But don't build your day around it. Learn the story, take a few shots, and move on. Because once the sun goes down, Hoi An offers something far more surprising. Number 13, Lantern Nights and River Walk. Hoi An at night really is beautiful. The lanterns glow, the river reflects every color, and for a moment it feels like the whole town slows down. But here's the catch. Not every spot is worth your time. The central areas get packed fast. Shoulder-to-shoulder crowds, vendors calling out non-stop, people stopping in the middle of the street for photos. The atmosphere can shift from romantic to overwhelming in minutes. That doesn't mean lantern nights are overrated. Far from it. The magic shows up when you step just a little farther away. Walk along quieter stretches of the river. Cross a small bridge. Wander into side streets where the lanterns still glow, but the noise fades. That's where the mood changes. Softer, calmer, more personal. So yes, lantern nights are absolutely worth it, if you do them right. But simply walking isn't the only way to experience the river at night. There's another option that changes everything. Number 12, the boat ride on the Thuban River. A boat ride on the Thuban River doesn't last long, 5, maybe 10 minutes. And at first you might wonder if it's even worth stopping for. But the feeling is different. The lanterns float by slowly. The noise from the streets fades. For a brief moment, Hoi An feels calm, almost unreal. It's one of those experiences that's more about mood than activity. And when it works, it really works. That said, there are downsides. Prices can feel inflated, especially during peak hours. Boats move fast to handle the crowds, which breaks the magic. And when the river gets crowded, the experience loses its charm. So here's the honest verdict. It's only worth it if you choose the right time. Go later in the evening, avoid peak festival hours, and don't be afraid to politely negotiate before stepping in. But if you're looking for something that feels more local and less staged, there's another experience that does it better. Number 11, the basket boat experience. At first glance, the basket boat experience looks extremely touristy. You know, round boats, life jackets, cameras everywhere. It's easy to assume it's just another staged attraction. But once you're on the water, the vibe changes. Local fishermen do the rowing, and many of them turn it into something playful, spinning the boat, cracking jokes, and sharing small stories about life on the river. It's simple, a little silly, and surprisingly fun. You're not just watching, you're interacting. Still, let's be honest. During peak hours, it can feel more like a performance than a real experience. Too many boats, too much noise, too many people doing the same thing at once. That's when it loses its charm. So here's the verdict. It's worth it if you go early in the morning or at a quieter time of day, when things feel more relaxed and personal. Now, let's leave the water behind for a moment and head back onto dry land. Number 10. Bang Beach. A lot of people skip the beach in Hoi An. They assume the town is all about lanterns and old streets, and that's a mistake. Bang Beach is only a short ride away, but the atmosphere feels completely different. It's quieter, more open, the kind of place where time slows down without trying too hard. The sand is clean, the water is usually calm, and it's easy to find a spot to just sit and breathe. The food scene here is better than most expect. Casual beach restaurants serve fresh seafood, cold drinks, and simple meals that actually taste good. Not overpriced, not rushed. Of course, it's not untouched paradise. You won't find dramatic cliffs or hidden coves. But that's not the point. Bang is worth it for a relaxed afternoon, especially after a busy morning in Old Town. And once you've had your beach time, Hoi An still has another side that surprises many visitors. Number 9. Traque Vegetable Village. Worth it for slow travel lovers. Traque Vegetable Village isn't flashy. There are no big signs, no dramatic views, and no viral photo spots. And that's exactly why it feels real. This is where you see everyday life up close. Local farmers work the fields the same way they have for generations, using simple tools and natural methods. You'll walk between rows of herbs, feel the soil, and understand where so many Hoi An flavors actually begin. The experience is calm and unhurried, no rushing, no pressure, just small moments, watering plants, listening to stories, watching routines that haven't changed much over time. But this isn't for everyone. If you're trying to see as much as possible in one day, it may feel slow. There's nothing loud or dramatic to keep your attention. So here's the verdict. Traque is worth it if you enjoy local culture and quiet experiences over packed schedules. And if you prefer learning by doing rather than just looking, the next experience might be exactly what you're looking for. Number 8. Cooking class in Hoi An. Worth it. This is one of those experiences you don't just remember, you take it home with you. A cooking class in Hoi An goes far beyond following recipes. You learn why dishes taste the way they do, how fresh herbs are used, how balance matters more than complexity in Vietnamese food. And most importantly, you're part of the process. There's real interaction here, talking with local hosts, cooking side by side, making mistakes, laughing, tasting everything along the way. It turns a meal into a memory. Unlike souvenirs or photos, this is something that stays with you. You'll recreate these dishes back home and instantly think of Hoi An. And that's why it's worth it. Among all the activities in town, a cooking class is one of the best values for your time and money, especially if you care about culture and connection. But as good as the food is, Hoi An still has experiences that go beyond the plate. Number 7. Hoi An Night Market. Overrated, but fun once. Loud, colorful, and very crowded. The Hoi An Night Market is exactly what you expect, and a little less than what Instagram promises. When you first arrive, the energy hits you fast. Lanterns everywhere, music, street food sizzling, people walking shoulder to shoulder. For atmosphere alone, it's fun. This is where Hoi An feels alive at night. You'll find plenty of snacks, grilled seafood, coconut pancakes, sugarcane juice, and it's a good place to casually try a few things without committing to a full meal. If it's your first night in town, it can feel exciting. But here's the downside. Many stalls sell the same souvenirs, the same lanterns, the same shirts, just repeated over and over. Prices are higher than daytime markets, and bargaining can get tiring. After 20 to 30 minutes, most people realize they've seen it all. Worth visiting once for the vibe. No need to come back, but there's one show most travelers don't expect to be worth watching. Number 6. Hoi An Memories Show. Not everyone loves it, but honestly, it's hard not to be impressed. Hoi An Memories Show is big, really big. This isn't a small cultural performance. It's a full-scale outdoor show with hundreds of performers, massive sets, lights, music, and just constant movement. Even if you don't fully follow the story, the visuals alone totally keep your attention. The show tells the history of Hoi An through dance, costumes, and staged scenes. You'll see fishing villages, royal processions, and old trading ports brought to life on an open-air stage. It feels more like a visual experience than a traditional theater show. That said, it's not for everyone. If you don't enjoy large productions or prefer quiet, intimate experiences, this may feel too long or maybe even a bit too dramatic. Some travelers leave amazed. Others feel it's good, but not necessary. Worth it if you enjoy big visual shows and storytelling. Number 5. Countryside cycling. Just 15 minutes on a bike, and Hoi An feels completely different. Leave the old town behind, and within minutes the noise fades. No lanterns, no souvenir shops, just rice fields, small canals, water buffalo, and local life moving at its own pace. This is the side of Hoi An many travelers never see. Cycling through the countryside is slow, simple, and, honestly, surprisingly peaceful. You'll pass farmers working the fields, kids waving as you ride by, and tiny cafés where locals stop for coffee. Nothing is staged. Nothing feels rushed. It's real, everyday Vietnam. You don't need to be super fit or experienced. The roads are flat, easy, and safe. Early morning or late afternoon is perfect. Cooler air, softer light, and fewer people. There's no ticket, no schedule, and no pressure. Just you, a bike, and the rhythm of the countryside. One of the most underrated experiences in Hoi An. Number 4. Cham Islands Day Trip. Many travelers skip this thinking it's too far. The Cham Islands are only about 30 minutes by speedboat from Hoi An, but they feel like a totally different world. Clearer water, quieter beaches, and some of the best snorkeling in central Vietnam make this an easy escape from the crowds. On a good day, the sea is calm, the visibility is great, and the experience feels absolutely worth it. You'll swim over coral reefs, relax on clean beaches, and enjoy a slower, more open coastal vibe. It's especially refreshing if you've spent several days in Old Town. That said, this trip is very weather dependent. If the sea is rough, the boat ride can be uncomfortable, snorkeling visibility drops, and the whole day feels rushed. Number 3. Fujian Assembly Hall and Old Houses. Places most people rush through, but full of stories. Fujian Assembly Hall and Hoi An's old merchant houses aren't loud or flashy, which is exactly why many travelers don't spend much time here. But if you slow down, this is where Hoi An's history becomes real. The architecture reflects centuries of Chinese-Vietnamese influence, from ornate gates and courtyards to wooden beams darkened by time. These buildings tell quiet stories about trade, migration, family clans, and spiritual life. Things you won't feel just by walking the main streets. Most visitors step inside, take one photo, and move on. That's a mistake. With a bit of patience, reading the details and observing how spaces were used, the experience becomes far more meaningful. Worth it if you're willing to go slow and look beyond the surface. Number 2. Cafés with views. Not every cafe is worth sitting down for. Hoi An has no shortage of cafes, but the experience depends entirely on where you go. The right spot gives you more than coffee. It gives you a pause, a place to cool down, watch life pass by, and reset before continuing. Riverside cafes and upper-floor balconies offer some of the best views in town. You can watch boats drift by, lanterns light up at dusk, or simply observe the slow rhythm of the streets below. These moments often become quiet highlights of the trip. The downside? Overly viral cafes. Long lines, rushed service, inflated prices, and the view rarely lives up to the hype. Worth it if you choose carefully and avoid places chasing social media trends. Number 1. Just wandering without a plan. The best experience isn't on any checklist. The most memorable moments in Hoi An often happen when you stop trying to do it perfectly. No route, no schedule, just walking. You turn into a quiet alley and hear a radio playing inside a wooden house. You pass a small temple you didn't plan to visit. You sit on a low stool, drink something cold, and watch the street change color as the light shifts. This is where Hoi An works best, not as an attraction, but as a feeling. There's no entrance fee, no crowd control, no pressure to move on, just space to notice details most people rush past. This is the most worth it way to experience Hoi An. Give yourself time. Leave gaps in your day. Let the town lead instead of following a list. Because in Hoi An, the moments you remember most are usually the ones you never planned. Hoi An is beautiful, but it's only truly worth it when you choose carefully. Not everything that's famous deserves your time, and not every quiet place is boring. The difference is knowing what fits your travel style. If you rush from spot to spot, Hoi An can feel crowded and tiring. But if you slow down, skip the overhyped parts, and focus on what actually matters, the town becomes something else entirely. If this video helped you see Hoi An more clearly, hit like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. I've also put useful links in the description, tours that are actually worth it, practical tips, and simple itineraries depending on how many days you have. And if you want to avoid more travel mistakes in Vietnam, check the next video on your screen. Thanks for watching, and travel smart.